Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Now, on the heels of the under 24 by 100 meter finals at Kerrica 2024, I have had this thought. Well, I actually had the thought before the race went off, but now taking into consideration a new year and I'm thinking maybe 2025, I was wondering, could Jamaica put together a team that could challenge the best the world has ever seen in the under 24 by 100 meters? Yes, that is the current thought process I'm having. Now, the best we've ever had consisted of 5 girls, and that is Serena Cole, Tia Clayton, Brianna Liston, Kerrica Hill, and Tina Clayton. Now, when you talk about the Carifta record, which would have been the world record had it been ratified, now that team consisted of Serena Cole, Tia Clayton, Brianna Liston, and Tina Clayton. Now, the world under 20 world record now, though, consists of a Serena Cole, Tia Clayton, Kerrica Hill, and Tina Clayton. Now, that team ran a 42.59 seconds. So, with that said, trackies, that's the best Jamaica has ever seen in terms of 4 by 100 meter quality. And of course, the best the world has ever seen as well. Now, I'm wondering if Jamaica could construct a team in 2025 that could challenge the times that we've seen set in 2022. Now, hear me out. On the heels of Jamaica's performance last evening, as I said, and I was thinking it before because I didn't know the construct of the team until after the race was done because I was expecting to see a Sabrina in the race, but she was not. But anyway, on the heels of that performance, they ran a 43.63 seconds, and this team consisted of a Habiba Harris, a Tiana Terrelonge, a Brianna Campbell, and a Shanoya Douglas. Now, taking into consideration the time that was done, and of course the fact that there was no Sabrina in the race, I started to think, okay, maybe I could take 2/10/3/10 of a second off this race, plus take into consideration as well the baton changes seemed very, very safe. Didn't really seem like the girls got much practice, so they did just enough to make sure that the baton got around safely and of course charged on to the finish line, which made them run a 43.63 seconds. Now, when you think about the best Jamaica has ever had over the under 20 division, these girls were running together for years upon years upon years on end. So they had a lot of practice, a lot of chemistry going for them. So they could really push the boundaries and run as fast as they possibly could to break that under 20 record. Now, unfortunately, these set of girls didn't have the same opportunity, but I'm hoping next year we could possibly see these girls get some better chemistry going and potentially challenge the fastest time we've ever seen. Now, the girls that I'm thinking about are Sabrina Natrece East, Tiana Terrelonge, and Shanoya Douglas. Now, the reason why I'm saying it has to happen in 2025 is that Sabrina turns 18, I believe, this year, which means that she'll be going into 2025 18 going 19, which means that she does not have another year in the under 20 division past 2025 because you cannot turn 20 in the year and be considered under 20. So with that said, there's only 1 year left for this to happen. Now, when you think about Natrece East as well, she will not be under 17 next year either because I believe she turns 17 in the year. So she'll be moving up to the under 20 division come next year. So with that said, taking into consideration now the personal best. So when I think about the best we've ever had in terms of, the 4x1 athletes, yeah, these girls are way out there in terms of their personal best. We were talking about a Tina Clayton at the time that was a 10.95 athlete. Well, give or take, depending on when, the race was run. Then we had a Brianna Liston that was at 11.14, a Tia Clayton that was 11.25, Serena Cole that was a 11.13, and also we had a Kerrica Hill that was at 11.16. So all these girls were firing, and clearly the fast times came as a result. So taking into consideration those times and where the actual girls are now presently, we're looking at a Sabrina that currently shattered her personal best with a 11.26 second run. And then there's a Tiana Terrelonge that's the fastest so far with a 11.22 seconds run. Then a Shanoya Douglas is currently at 11.40 seconds, and Natrece East is currently at 11.42 seconds. Now, give these girls a year and tell me what you think they will be running. In my mind, potentially potentially Tiana Lee Terrelonge would be potentially maybe the fastest of the lot, but maybe not, because we do see Sabrina Dockery also challenging as well, especially for an athlete that I believe her first year really taking the 100 meters seriously. So there's a lot of room for improvement. Plus, technically as well, Sabrina Dockery has a lot of room to improve. So when I take into consideration both these athletes, we could see an 11.0 from both of them next year, at least an 11.1. That's what I would say. At least an 11.1, but I'm hoping for potentially an 11.0 from both these athletes. Now, when I think about a Shanoya Douglas, she has a lot of range as well. Dibbles and dabbles in the 100 meters, not so solid in it just yet, not her focus just yet. But if she's able to drop her personal best again next year, then we could possibly see a 11.2 from her. If we can get a 11.2 from Shanoya Douglas, and you know, when I think about Shanoya Douglas, I'm actually thinking I'm underrating her talent by saying 11.2, but the only reason I'm saying 11.2 is because she focuses on the 4 as well. So with that said, I don't think she'll be taking the 100 meters so seriously next year, but you never know. I could be pleasantly surprised next year, right? So let me say 11.2/11.1 maybe for a Shanoya Douglas next year. And then there's Natrece East, the ever improving Natrece East. I potentially see her maybe getting into 11.2s next year. So when we take a look at it again, we have potentially two 11.0s, we have an 11.1, and we have an 11.2. Do you think that this team will be able to challenge the best Jamaica and the world has ever seen for the under 24 by ones? I think we will. No, I really want them to also work on their chemistry, because that's one thing the team of Serena, Tina, Brianna, Kerrica had going for them, and that was their chemistry. Two were from Heidel and three were from Edwin Allen. So literally, they were always running together and had that chemistry working. So along with their phenomenal speed, they had great chemistry working for them. Now it's for these young girls to clearly get the chemistry. When I was watching the relay last evening, only two of the three that I made mention of partook in the relay. And clearly that's because Natrece East is still under 17 at this moment. And Sabrina Dockery, my assumption is that because she goes in the 2, they're resting her, not making her run too much. They're coming off champs. That was a very, very rough patch for them in terms of the amount of competitions they've had. So it made sense to not run Sabrina Dockery in that moment, because clearly Jamaica had the best team there. So with that said, no Sabrina Dockery in the race last evening, but I am thinking that Jamaica, especially now that we have an under 20 championships coming up this season, Jamaica can really take advantage of this moment and try to get these girls really working together, get that chemistry going, and let's see what they can do for the rest of 2024. And then on the heels of 2024, heading into 2025, we'll have an idea of really what these girls will be able to drop heading into 2025. Anyway, Trakkies, that is my opinion based on what I'm seeing so far from these young phenomenal athletes. And I want y'all now to chime in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. Is it a stretch to think these young athletes could challenge the best we've ever seen, or do they stand a possibility? Let me know your thoughts. And as usual, like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.